Awesome. And welcome in Gyms and Gymettes. Play ball, am I right? To No Substitute for Sports. I'm your host, Nick Johnson. This is episode 63. And yes, this is the first foul ball I caught ever. And I'm gonna hold on to it for a long time. But I gave another ball to another kid. So like I said, grow the game. That's the whole goal of this thing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in to No Substitute for Sports on the Generous Network YouTube page. If you're just someone upon us, hit that subscribe button, but only if you hit the like button. Share us around. Tell your friends. Tell everyone you know. Tell my Timberwolves fans. Well, actually, maybe checking out your Nuggets fans as well. Make sure you're like exactly that. To get all together now. Feels good. You can always follow us on Twitter at Degenerates and every Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, but not this Thursday. Red Line doubleheader coming up on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy. No substitute for sports live. Tune in as well, 3 p.m. for Low Blow Sports. And then Mondays and Wednesdays, 2 p.m. is Blow the Whistle. Thank you, very cool. X-Bomb Sports. Tune in for that on Fridays. That's Bad Karma Wrestling with me and Double D. So there you go. Ready for this one, Mike?
So much
Much
to
to
talk
talk
about.
about.
So
So
much to
much to
talk
talk
about.
about. That was the best one yet. We're getting better. Hell yeah. It's the First Amendment. It's a First Amendment upholding, wins and loss counting, get booked, but still making our tea times type of episode today. For first appetizer platter, including Harrison Butker, Scotty Scheffler, and the NCAA video game. How you doing? Next, we take a gander at the NFL schedules, predicting our team's wins and losses, and picking the best primetime games to gather around for. Some quick thoughts on the NBA, Eastern Conference, and Western Conference finals if we got some time. But I really want to focus, and this will be the final one. We preview and go through every single match for the AEW's All or Nothing. Basically, that's AEW's WrestleMania. So all that, tons more in between. But before we get underway, let me introduce to you my friend and co-host, the founder and CEO of FatCat_Streams. That's with a Z. Mikey J. Fatcat, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. It's a beautiful day as usual now it seems, and no
Oh
more
yeah.
shitty weather. And yeah, we're just ready to get this going. Talk about the pack, talk about AEW, talk about all the crazy stuff that's been going on in the sports world. So
Oh
let's
yeah.
do this shit,
Not
man.
ironically wearing the Hawaiian shirt anymore. It's actually nice out, nice enough to do so. We got the
Hell
shorts on.
yeah.
It's fantastic. I always make the joke. Can we podcast outside? Maybe soon. Maybe soon. Maybe we get together, go out in the backyard, and we go get the grill going, have an episode outside. I don't know.
That'd be amazing. That would
It'd
be
be
pretty cool,
funny. It'd
actually.
be cool. We'll do that. Go play some wiffle ball. So I don't know. We'll get the whole thing going. Maybe even stream. Like I said, we can put together our own little wiffle ball games. It's all cool. Like I said. Oh man, it's been cool. Anything introduced anything new before we hop on to our usual get a little shindig.
Oh. I don't, not on my end. I've been watching just one random thing. Me and my brother have been watching the Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah, trying to catch up
And
for the new one.
yeah, I just can't believe how good they actually are.
Oh,
Cause
okay.
I would always, I remember when we saw the trailer for the new one in theaters, we were every time like, what the hell is this? This is just shit movie.
No,
And
I've heard they're actually pretty decent as well. Yeah, no, it is one of those, like you said, don't knock it till you try, maybe. But I mean, if they're making that many, they're going that deep, might as well. Yeah, you put they're cooking with those. They're actually not too bad. But
yeah, I've enjoyed it. We watched the first two of that newer trilogy, and I think we just have to watch this last one, and then we can watch this new one and know
yeah,
understand everything.
it's not like the ridiculous Mark Wahlberg one where somehow, some way, it was Monkey Abraham Lincoln.
Abe
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Which is like, what?
They
Wow.
never made another one with that story.
So there's Monkey Abraham Lincoln. So that I think someone had to have said this already. So if there's Monkey Abraham Lincoln, there was monkey slavery before all that. There was a monkey civil war. Therefore, there was there all the so basically history just somehow repeats itself, but through ape.
Monk with monkeys.
Yeah, it's very ignorant to think that's exactly how it'd go down. So yeah, overall pretty weird, but different timeline, different one. This was from the James Franco. That's all the way from the beginning of that
Yeah,
one. That was I think that might have been the first and the last one that I watched. Not because I fell out of interest, it's just because that's just, that I didn't get back into it. But if you're saying that's not too bad, I'll take your word for it. I might have to get back into them.
they're pretty decent. I
Yeah.
think they're all on Max
Oh,
too.
hell
So
yeah. Hell yeah. Well, before we get underway, well, this is basically a part of it. We'll talk what we're doing coming in about 2 days. So as we're recording this, got the Red Line doubleheader coming up. Is something I've been hyping up for a little bit. I saw it on a post, and yeah, like I said, it was just about time I put words into action. So Red Line doubleheader, for those that do not know, is when the White Sox and Cubs play in the same day. So you take the red line to both games. This coming Thursday, a 120 start for the Cubs. They play the Atlanta Braves at 120. Like I said, I think I wanted to save this for reaction time. Oh, I just dropped the ball, and that's an error. Uh, let's see
there.
who's pitching for the Cubs on Thursday. That ought to be a good game, and of course,
Hendricks.
no way. He just got bumped to the.
Yeah.
Got bumped to the bullpen.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, they just announced it today.
Let's,
So let's take
oh,
a.
then
I got
I
it.
saw he was scheduled.
Oh, well, they do not have a pitching They do not have a probable for Thursday for the Cubs. Let's see if they got one for the Sox. And of course, like I said,
The Sox are undecided too because the guy that they had, Brad Keller, he got
he just
moved
got, yeah, he got
down the other
DFA'd.
day. I saw he was supposed to start that day and then he got moved down. So
Cool. So not knowing who's pitching, you got a 120 start for the Cubs and then a 640 start for the White Sox and Orioles in guaranteed rate field. So that was kind of the game plan. I personally, I've been to one Cub game and that was at night. So I wanted to experience a daytime Cub game. I understand that's a different animal. So that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to experience exactly that. Uh, and then finish off at guaranteed rate field with a nice milkshake, some better food. Maybe not the better baseball, but it'll be
oh,
it'll be decent to see. You'll see Gunnar Henderson. You'll see Adley Rutschman just probably take a steep, uh, and just continue their just being dominant fashion that they are as the Baltimore Orioles. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go for the long day. I'm I'm gonna have to look and see the bag how the bag situation could be at Wrigley. If I can bring some sort of bag or knapsack or one of those like drawstrings, I will, because I don't want to be that guy at Wrigley wearing sock stuff. But
that's what I was.
I also, if I can't bring a bag, I'm just gonna have to be that guy, and I'd be like, I get it. I'm doing the red line doubleheader. I'm just gonna have to be that guy the whole time. You don't understand. It's a bit. I'm going from here to there. You know what the red line doubleheader is? You want to see this video? I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be that the whole day. So
Yeah, the only baseball stuff that I have is all sock stuff.
yeah,
So I was just thinking, I was like, I mean, I'm gonna might just have to roll like that as well.
yeah. I wish I had the Zach Hampel just like a black the MLB just logo on my t-shirt and then an MLB hat, but I'll
I'll
roll
probably be
I
there.
can roll with my Sox hat. That's pretty like underwhelming, and then just go with any t-shirt, and then like I said, just change into whatever jersey I feel like bringing that particular day. So that was going to be my game plan. Like I said, if they allow the drawstring, if they don't, they do. I'll have to look into it. Uh, Again, people might be like, "Ah, you noob, not going to Wrigley. You don't even know." I don't. I've only been to guaranteed
Just
rate.
have to ask Bill.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to ask Bill really quick. So red line doubleheader. I'm excited. Let's see. Hopefully the sweep. I think that's what we'll bet on that. Maybe go with some Nerfies. We've been red hot in
Hmm,
betting and gambling on the baseball side of things in the group chat, so that's been awesome. Just red hot all the way around. It's been pretty good.
love
Um,
it.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Still diving in on the appetizers. If you're good on the red line doubleheader, you can shift gears. Maybe let's talk. You want to talk some golf? So we do not do that at very often or at all here. So
No,
I think it's worth a mention. Our guy Scotty Scheffler. which in my mind is the early candidate for Halloween costume of the year already. You can put on a orange jumpsuit and just bring some golf clubs around. Scotty Scheffler was booked, detained. You see him right there behind Mike. Got arrested after apparently a misunderstanding, was dragging a police officer on the ground after he bumped into him. It was a whole kerfuffle, but everything's being dropped. Everything's good. Basically, everyone's washed their hands of this. But just the idea of, you know, be, being arrested at whatever time. I think he was in there he was in the cell. He even said in the cell, getting ready, stretching.
Yeah,
He said
warming up.
he said he had never stretched in a jail cell before, which again, that's pretty. It's a really really good pull for audio. Um, but then goes in out there, and I think he goes like four. He goes like 5 under during the day on
Yeah.
overall like 9 or 11 under. Again, I'm very bad when it comes to just like keeping score or knowing what exactly is the goal there, but
I
he
just know he
shot
played very well on that day
he
after he
shot
got arrested.
extremely well. Yeah. Overall, just it was the me Twitter was having a field day. What was your take? What was your takeaway being now you're getting more into golf. What do you probably woke up to this just like I did, right?
Yeah, I saw that and I was looking at his odds immediately on DraftKings because I was like, he's gonna win now. Which
Oh
so I
yeah.
mean I bet on him and he did not win, but it was just like he was plus 800 at that moment. He dropped all the way to like plus 100 something at one point because he was cooking so much. So I was like, this guy is going off. I mean, he's a very good golfer, and that was just so out of nowhere. I mean, the stuff he did was kind of like I don't. Just, the cop held on to his door handle, and then
Oh, okay.
as
Yeah.
he was driving away, and he
Because
cop
magically they reported that there was no body cam footage.
yeah, so I mean, I don't know like obviously he shouldn't do that, but it also was a little extra by the cops to even arrest him for that. But he didn't even care. Just warmed up, got back before tea time, made his tea time, and started cooking. So
I mean,
that
that's
just
just a
goes to
guy.
show.
Yeah, he knew he didn't do anything wrong, and everything was going to be fine. And he just kept was being told, "Yeah, you're going to make it. You're going to make it." And sure enough, he did. So, yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, what would be the word? Stick up for either buddy on either side. I guess there's wrong ends on both sides. No one was right necessarily, but yeah, just maybe recognize, or it could be on maybe just eh, when there's going to be a giant tournament, maybe the number one tournament, the PGA Championship, maybe get like a graph, get like a couple pictures, and be like, hey, these guys are people that have access to this, so not a thing of like don't mess with them, but just like, hey, this is this person, they can go here. This is this person, and they can go here. This is Scotty Scheffler. He's probably the best golfer in the world. This is what he looks like. so, so maybe again, just like they were in Kentucky. I don't want to leave it. I don't want to be mean. But that could also be a thing there. Just he looks like a guy. He just looks like a random dude. If he was just
Yeah, I
in
mean,
his
yeah, imagine
shorts,
being in the jail cell with them that morning.
yeah. He's no one's gonna tap him on the shoulder like after as they're playing the because I mean it happens in every single jail cell. Everyone has a little harmonica.
That's true.
No one's tapping no one's tapping him on the shoulder and be like, hey, Scotty Scheffler, I can't believe you're here, man. Or if you are, if that would be so funny. If you got in the drunk tank, you had a you got plastered, you ended up making your first golf bet of all days. Scotty Scheffler's not too bad. Bing, and then you wake up from your drunken stoop and he's right next to you in the jail cell. Son of God, are you kidding me? The first time, the first time I bet on this shit. Uh, that's just the only the funny scenario I went through in my mind. But
That's
either
their
way,
gamblers.
yeah, exactly. All is well. Hopefully, again, everything's gonna get basically essentially dropped, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's
Free Scotty, all the t-shirts, the people ran wild. Again, that picture of his mugshot with what he shot that day is is probably the best picture going around. So I think that was probably the best one. So again, bravo. Sometimes Twitter is the absolute worst. It's an absolute cesspool, and then other days it just bounces right back. It's like, hey, we're this is why we're awesome. So that's that. So Scotty Scheffler, there you have it. I know.
Come on,
Uh,
Scotty.
yeah, that boy Scotty. On to pretty, really, really interesting, very exciting football video game news. The NCAA football, NCAA 25. Is that what it's supposed to be? NCAA
Yeah.
25 drops the trailer and it's as hype as it can be. Mike, I'll let you take it away. You've been very adamant about this. This has been the game that you've been very much looking forward to. What drew you in? What a part of it was like, oh yeah, that's the best part. Go take it away.
Well, first things first, I mean, I know people always loved like the NCAA college football games, and I never played them growing up. I never got a chance to play them, and then at this point in my life to play them, it costs like
$150.
$200 or something
Yeah, for
absurd.
NCAA
Yeah.
14.
So like this will finally be a chance for me to experience this, and it's the fact that it's on this all upgraded play these next gen systems. And I mean, I know that it's EA, and that's what, as much as hype as the trailer is, there's always that part of me that's like EA can fuck this up somehow and some way. But because you know the gameplay is going to be similar to Madden, but it's
Mhm.
really just the game modes that people are going to want to play, the Dynasty and that sort of stuff. You know, I've only seen videos or like Big Cat doing that when he was big on winning the all that stuff for the different teams. And
I blame him for
ever
that's kind of why the prices for the NCAA 14 is fucking, like you said,
honestly,
$200.
he definitely made the price go up because of how popular that was with Coach Doug's and everything.
Yeah.
But this game is hype nonetheless. I mean, there's just like I had a picture here of just like look at
Oh, it's
how
so
clean
clean.
that
So
looks.
clean.
And the fact, I mean, the fact that it's just something different, and we've had Madden for so long, we've never had a college football game for decades. I mean, it's been so long, I feel like, and it's just like I was saying, getting it on these consoles, getting all of these upgraded graphics, new animations, the intros for all of the teams coming out with their whatever they do like before games, and the chants with the stadium with specific crowds, what they do during third downs, or just how it is in the atmosphere. Like they went to each stadium and collected sound from the crowd. And the different announcers for different games. It's so cool. Like Madden has had the same announcers for so long. Just the fact that there will be two sets of announcers
Yeah.
is people were complaining like, oh, why can't we have more sets? Like just accept that at least
Yeah.
there's different sets of announcers.
I
It's
would no,
awesome.
yeah, two is just like that's more than exactly that. They've wanted more. People have wanted this whole idea in Madden, like, hey, if it's a primetime game, can it feel like a primetime game instead of just like it's Sunday night football, but it's the same two announcers you've had if it's a 12 o'clock game as opposed to if it's a 7 o'clock game. So they want that's an upgrade. I really enjoy that. And if it's just baby steps, that's what it can be done.
Oh yeah. I mean, you've played these games in the past, right? So
Yeah, I
how do
picked it
you
up.
feel?
I picked it up during the pandemic. I didn't pay as much because I snagged NCAA 12 and like they're fun. They're very fun gameplay. Just the idea of taking a school that has no chance or you're doing nothing and just to build it up. It's just the idea like yeah, I'll make Kentucky now it is kind of like somewhat a football school as much as it is a basketball school. But yeah, just taking Kentucky back in the day and taking these like two-star recruits and then mixing them in. And eventually, after 1 year, you get a five-star. Then you get somebody else in there. Yeah, it's really fun and cool. And just if you have that whole that connection to a college that a lot of people do, where in
Yeah.
my mind, for maybe for us too, it's kind of just whoever makes us money that week is kind of who our favorite college team is. But I have a lot of diehard Notre Dame fan friends, and I got a lot of Alabama friends, and I got a lot
Oh,
of
for sure.
Ohio State, Michigan people. It's it's all that. So that all grabs it right there. And I hope I didn't look at every single gameplay mode. Is there like a franchise mode that they'll be able to play an online mode? So
Yeah, I think that there is an online mode where you can have up to 32 people, it
that's
said.
perfect. I mean, that's awesome. Exactly. You can get some guy like, "Yeah, I'll play as like Arizona State or something like that." And like, oh yeah, I'll take Ohio State and just like make sure I'm
The
just
only
gunning for.
thing is that's not cross-platform, so like you can only on those franchise like it is cross-platform for just normal matches. Like if you want to go head to head with someone, you can do cross-platform, but for like the franchise, like the dynasty and stuff like that, you can't
Oh,
do it.
sorry. Oh no, Alan's got a PS5 now. So I was about to say
He
sorry.
does.
For the longest time, he didn't have he was only on Xbox games.
We
So
could all have our own. We could all have a franchise. That would be
yeah.
awesome with Bill and everybody.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. I literally have not played that. That'll be the first game I've played or done anything in forever. I gotta knock some dust off my PS5. Oof. I used it more than just. I basically used it more as a DVD player the past couple months. Just it is
Hey,
what it is.
you do what you get. It has its purposes, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, the trailer's hype. We're both excited.
Oh, for
This is
sure.
gonna be great. July 26th or something like that.
Yeah,
It's
some point at the end of July, yeah.
Yeah, so that ought to be great. I can't wait. That again, that one meme that's been going around, dropping MLB the Show. It's like, oh, I don't want to play with this anymore. It's kind of be exactly like that. This is a lot of people are gonna know life this and for good reason because people are still playing franchise modes on the NCAA 14. Again, I got
Yeah.
to just last comment on this for me. I got a buddy who bought like a jailbroken Xbox 360 just so they can have this updated franchise on he basically just bought this Xbox just to play NCAA 14 with his buddies and have this altering mode. So I don't know how, don't know why he did it, but they still have a blast with
That's
it.
how
So
much this game means to people.
yeah, it's an absolute blast. This is gonna fly off the shelves both figuratively, both physically and virtually. So
Yeah, it might be the highest selling sports game ever.
oh yeah, it'll
Uh,
be up there for sure. Uh, yeah. Final appetizer we got here. If you're good on the NCAA video game,
yeah, one quick thing about it that I just learned is that it was completely different developers from Madden. I think they had some Madden developers in, of course, to help with mechanics and stuff, but it's just reassuring to see that it's completely different people, and I'm sure that they took like a lot of time and dedicated a lot of work to this. So, I
yeah,
mean, it seems like it is different, feels different from Madden. It's all the atmosphere, the
yeah.
mystique, and like just again the trailer showing like the Penn State and like every all the crowds and everything. It's just so it's gonna be so awesome.
It's the small detail, like you mentioned, when they're not, like I said, changing broadcasters and that video of the broadcaster that was I forgot I'm gonna forget his name. He's always doing the college football games, obviously. But he's like, yeah, if you throw 5 interceptions and you keep throwing the ball, I have a call for that. If you have pick a pick two in overtime, after the fifth overtime, like I have a call for that. So it's the small things. That's what's gonna be very interesting, and that's what you love to hear. So that's promising. Love it. Love it. So
Come on.
all good there. Let's talk and finalize some appetizers. This is a nice little appetizer. Like I said, this is one of those appetizers when you go to TJ Fridays or Chili's and you're like, yeah, we got the pot stickers, we got the cheese sticks over here, we got some shrimp.
Hell
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Yeah, this is the type of appetizer we got today.
We want
Fine.
more.
Oh yeah. Final one we got here. The Harrison Butker speech.
Mm.
I look at it. Look at this guy. Ready, ready to go. He's ready for Sunday. He's ready for church. Uh, boy, oh boy. How something like that, how a college speech can just can get the people all riled up and all going. You can look at through a million lenses. I'll I'll try and be as nice as possible on both, like I said, on both ways. I'll yeah, again, it's really hard to even start from the beginning. What he said, what Harrison Butker went ahead and said, and I'll maybe even try and pull it up, or maybe you can just try and see the most controversial part was the whole idea of like, hey, you're graduating and you're and raises and being an employee and all that stuff. That's gonna be fine. That's gonna be what you're looking forward to. But being a mother, being a caregiver, that's what being the is what you're most looking forward to. He was talking to the women most specifically in the graduating crowd at uh I'm sorry, what I should have had this all prepared.
I
What where
forget the school, but it's
Be-
predominantly
Benedictine?
religious school.
Yeah, this is a Catholic college. Harrison Butker is a devoted Catholic. Like I said, I think it's Benedictine College. Harrison Butker's speech at what college? Is
Yeah, I should have had this open.
Yeah, Benedictine College. Yeah, that was
Okay.
okay. Uh, so again, an all Catholic college. Harrison Butker, a devout Catholic. This is his point of view. Is it correct? No, it's very old timey. This would be something, you'd be hear your grandfather saying, you're like, what? What do keep eating your applesauce, dude? What are you talking about? Just calm down. What he said again, it's not outrageous. It's not outrageous at all. To some degree, it could even be true. Just like I said, however you want to think about it. Again, I don't. It was very, very, very wild that he would go ahead and do this, but this is his point of view, and you can't take that away from him. That's where my whole take on it is. I'm always gonna be First Amendment right to free speech as opposed to this offends me, therefore it should offend everybody else. So that's kind of the vibe that I was got, the whole idea of cancel culture coming in and knocking this kid down just basically because honestly might be another just might be a slow news week. And it kind of feels that way considering the counter to this wasn't, you know, Harrison Butker's had on a silver platter. It was him being the highest selling jersey on the NFL.com that week. Even most importantly, in the women, he sold out in his women's jersey. So whether that's a troll, whether that's just an actual people being like, oh yeah, Harrison Butker's supporting the guy, he it's sold. So I, I thought some of the comments were kind of funny. Either the comments I'm referring to is on some of even Harrison Butker's new posts were like, "Oh, is my woman money good enough to buy your like just stuff like that." Even like women trolling back Harrison Butker. So I'm going on. I'm honestly rambling. I didn't want to do that, and I don't want to like preach slash give anybody this whole idea that I'm supporting either which way. I'm always going to be free speech guy first and like, hey, don't just overreact. Try to get it through all these lenses. Not everything's supposed to be for you. Therefore, you can't be like, hey, I don't like this. Therefore, no one should like this. That's always my point of view on that. So again, try not to preach. Try not to give anything. Not trying not to harp on it too long. Mike, what was your takeaway from this? What was your point of view? Is Harrison Butker the devil?
No.
Thank you. I
I
did.
don't. I just like I could see why people would dislike what he said, but for the fact that he's getting so much hate online is outrageous. I feel like for some of the other things that players do and they don't get as nearly as much stuff said to them. I mean, he didn't do anything illegal or anything. I
Yeah,
don't know. He was saying something that his religion believes in a predominantly religious school at his graduation that everyone cheered for when he said. So it's like I get that people don't like it, and I mean you don't have to like it, and not everyone's gonna like people's point of views, but I mean I mean it's their religion, so I'm not gonna hate on them for that. I mean, it's
no.
like if he have to, I don't have to agree with it, but I'm not gonna. call him like people are calling him like a misogynist piece of shit and all this stuff online. It's like, I mean, I don't know if he's a piece of shit, but I mean, he's not just a horrible guy just because of his religion or something he believes in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think the amount of stuff that he's getting online is kind of ridiculous. I
No,
mean,
it's crazy. Yeah, it is a little bit much. Again, it's those that don't realize what they have until they don't. And I don't want to be again, I don't want to compare and like, oh, he's done like what he's done isn't, like he didn't beat up his girlfriend, he didn't kill somebody, he didn't, race anybody and then slam into a car at 119 miles an hour. He didn't kill anybody while drag racing type deal. Those are just things that have happened within the past like, 10 years. But uh yeah, you don't want to compare stuff like that, and it's exactly that. It's just words. It's really just words, and you can either be offended by that. If you are, that's crazy. Uh, yeah, and again, I don't want to keep preaching. It's exactly that. Not everything's going to be for you, and it's again, it might be outdated. Therefore, if you don't follow that religion, hop on something else. You can believe in a higher power, but still not believe in religion. You can believe in a religion and believe whatever. There's so many ideas. It's really hard to say that one is correct and one is the right way to do it. So, and also the idea, like again, just it's a freedom. Don't take that away because that's still the trend. That whole idea, like, oh, everyone's on my side. I don't think he should have a job. No, everyone's on freedom's side because there's 194 other countries that still have, democracy and following the same sort of like this whole script of, having amendments and liberties and stuff like that. So,
mhm.
yeah. So I think you're in the minority when you think you're not. That's that. Again, fine. That's that. That's that. No, I'll drop it because everybody else will. And something else will somehow piss off
Yeah,
someone
something
else.
else will come up. There'll be something
Yeah.
worse than this. People will forget about him. And
It is one of those where like, let's react to that. I'm gonna raise my hey, hey, he's bad. And then it's just like, and then everyone else would be like, and then just like, no, okay, all right, well, I'll
it's
find somebody
also,
else to get mad at. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just the haters of the internet too. Yeah,
Yeah.
just cling on to anything that is controversial or that they can just say he's wrong. I mean, it's
Exactly. And they'll be able to do that somehow, some way throughout the NFL season because the NFL schedule was released just this past I don't know, about a week or so ago. All those videos dropped, all the releases, and they were cool. They were fantastic. Before we hop into the Bears schedule and the Packers schedule, did you have a favorite NFL schedule release video that dropped over the weekend?
hmm. Um,
I think it was or during the week. I think it was like a Tuesday.
yeah, I mean, I want to say that I like the Packers one just because it's the Packers, but the other teams that had way more interesting or just unique ones, like the Chargers one with all the Sims was, I think, one of my favorites.
That
I'm
was
trying to,
funny.
I think there was another one, but I just can't.
So the Dolphins one was low key, like again, very funny, creative, and hit exactly what it was. Just being quick. So it was Tyreek Hill editing what you saw on the screen, editing what you saw on the screen on Adobe Premiere Pro, and just the entire video is only 22 seconds long. It is exactly that. The fastest team giving you the fastest NFL release schedule, 22 seconds. So they play it, zoom, the schedule just zooms by you. So I think that was pretty funny. The Detroit one was pretty good. The guy from the Detroiters, Tim Robbins, and I don't remember
Oh, I did see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, a couple of those will come down right here. Maybe I have one come out of my mouth or something like that, and then I got one in my like I'm holding it right here. He's like, no, I'm holding it. It's like, no, I thought of it first, so I'm holding it. It's just like, no, that was pretty funny. I'm trying to also think. It was the hmm, it, two
Which
teams
is,
two teams had very similar ones, the exact same ones actually. One of those drill presses pressing down is the Chiefs, and another team had the exact same one, which is kind of weird that they, I don't know, they,
Copied.
yeah, kind of, I don't know if they copied one another, they just didn't know, but that's what ended up happening.
And the Titans, were they the ones that did
The
the
guys, the people on the street, yeah.
yeah. Those were
I like
always so funny.
the very first one they're playing the Bears. He goes, "Oh, Joe Burrow, love Joe Burrow," and it's the Bears logo. It just says, "Love Joe Burrow." Nah, I love Caleb Williams, baby. Uh, I'm trying to think of I mean, obviously the Bears one, I liked it. A pretty bad take I heard on the radio is just like, yeah, the kids today, they're not gonna understand the 16 candles and the Ferris Bueller Day Off and the Breakfast Club. Well, I just rattled them off myself, and I knew all off the top of the dome which one they are. I mean, 26 years old. If you just know movies and you're a movie guy, like you're gonna understand, even if you didn't see them. Like they're famous enough to like, I don't know, just get the reference. I didn't quite understand or get or understand that take, but I thought the Bears one was pretty good. I would say it might even fall as the second best movie one. The Patriots release one was really funny because the good Jules Hunting, Julian Edelman, and having Gronkowski as the best friend, and then at the very end, the guys mix up the movies. They're all in the van as the town, and they're all gonna ransack the stadium. He goes guys, wrong movie. And they all get back in the van. He goes, I told you, you're driving now. It's like that whole bullshit. So I
I
thought that
didn't
was
even see
actually,
theirs.
yeah, the Patriots was really good. I don't want to keep giving him away, but they just keep doing the same things from the movie, from Goodwill Hunting. And he goes, "How about them apples?" He slaps like the rest of the schedule on the screen. He goes, Tom, and then Gronk just goes, "Yeah, I love apples." Like just little stuff like that. Especially after just seeing him on the roast when you're just like, me know that not real money. That whole bit. So that was pretty cool. I enjoyed a lot of them. To each their own. If they're gonna keep trying to, I wouldn't say break the bank or max out a budget. Don't go over the top with them. Just be creative, have fun with them. I think it's exactly that. Where you can have it be 22 seconds, or you can have it be 3.5 minutes long, and it still hits each way. So
Yeah.
I thought a lot of them were fine and funny. So uh, just getting to the actual Bears schedule, or did you want to hit the Packers schedule first?
No, we could do the Bears first.
Sure thing. I won't linger too long. Just I'll quickly go through breeze through each matchup week by week, and then just give you my overall takes on some of the spots that I'm weary of, but my overall prediction on wins and losses and what this team should do ceiling
Oh
wise, but
man.
hopefully, you know, gets something done eventually. So Week 1, Tennessee. Week 2 on Sunday Night Football, you got Houston. Week 3 at Indianapolis. Week 4 at the Rams, LA. Uh, Week 5, Carolina. Week 6, you're technically home, but in London against the Jacksonville Jaguars. A bye week 7, then coming home or coming back across the pond, but still away at Washington, at Arizona, then back home for 2. New England or back home for 3. New England, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, San Francisco, Minnesota again, Detroit, Seattle on Thursday night, and then to be determined whether maybe it could be another primetime game depending on schedule or depending on records at that time, depending on the narrative. But week 18 in Green Bay, that is where that's the final matchup right there against the Packers. So quickly, I'll like I said, I'll kind of take you by chunks. First 6, first 7. Uh, I'm hoping on 4-2. I could see 3-3. If it's 2-4, I'm gonna be a little upset. So Tennessee, that should be a win. Houston, you know, on Sunday night might be, might the lights hopefully aren't too bright right there. Hopefully the Bears can just hold their own against the Texans. That's going to be my hope right there. I kind of have a toss up with the Colts and the Rams. I think they get one done one there and one done the other, but I'm not quite sure which one. So I'm just going to even it out. It's a 1-1 right there. So After
Hmm.
4, I got 2-2. They should definitely take care of Carolina. And then in London against Jacksonville. They haven't been in London before, I don't think, for a game since they've been doing these international games, and the Jags just play so well in London. It's their home away from home. So it's hard to sit there and say it's a W. I'll be calm and just, be even 3-3 going into the bye week. I can live with that. If they're 4-2, love that. But right after that, these need to be 3 straight wins afterward. Needs to be a win against Washington, needs to be a win against Arizona, and needs to be a win against New England. All 3 of those teams, there's no identity there. There's talent for sure. Of course, being Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams will be fun. Seeing Marvin Harrison Jr., if he's playing, will be cool too. And then
Hmm.
again, Caleb Williams versus Drake May in New England. But all 3 of those teams, besides maybe New England, you can argue, yeah, running and defense, but new coach, you don't have an ID, you don't have an identity to either one of these 3 teams. So these need to be wins right here. And then if that's the case, 6-3 going into week 11, and that's the most important part because there's 6 division games in your last 8 weeks. You better be healthy and you better have stacked some wins together because it's Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, San Francisco, Minnesota, Detroit, Seattle, and Green Bay, like I just already mentioned at the top. That's tough. That is a tough schedule no matter who you were talking to because it could be a young and up and coming red hot Green Bay squad playing at home or you on the road. It does not matter. Personally, I think no, I know that the Bears can take care of Minnesota twice. It just is what it is. Sorry, the Vikings last year weren't very good. They did not improve. I would say they even took a step backwards, adding
Hmm.
JJ McCarthy and Sam Darnold. So I think that's the Bears can do very well, potentially even win the division, but that's only if they go 4-2, 3-3 in the division. You need to split with Green Bay. You need to split with Detroit because they play Detroit very well and that's possible. But you need to get one against Green Bay. God, you need to get one against Green Bay, and it needs to be week 11 because if it's all going your way, you lost the first game against Green Bay, and somehow, some way, you're in the light, you're in the opportunity to win the division or just be in the playoff. But week 18 rolls around and you're on the road in Green Bay. That's a very rough, tough environment, especially in January. So not gotta stack together wins and a ton of them and a ton of them at the end of the year because I'm just counting week 14. Sorry, San Francisco, that's a loss. It is what it is. But the interesting part again, week 17, whether it's flexed or not, there's a lot of tough things going on. Final two other things I have, and I'll let you talk about it really quick or recap it as well.
No, go ahead.
Uh, there's 2 stretches where the Bears are playing 3 games within 14 days, and they play some pretty tough ones. So again, it's that Monday night game at week 15. Then 6 days later, they'll play Detroit at home. Give it to you, but then 4 days after that, they'll play Seattle on Thursday night. So within a 10-day 3 games in a 10-day game span, three games in a 10-day span there. That's extremely crazy, but at least getting 2 of those at home is nice. But there is a stretch, of course, where you're in London, you get a bye week, you're on the road in Washington, and then on the road in Arizona. Basically 4 weeks where you're not at home. You can fit something in the bye week and move something around, but that's also pretty tough as well. So concerning things there, I think it was also even this one right here, if I do the math really quick, where it's Minnesota week 12, 4 days later on Thanksgiving, it is
Hmm.
Thanksgiving morning in Detroit, and then 10 days after that. So that's the three games in a 14-day stretch right there, and 2 of them are on the road. So it's rest is gonna have to come. People are gonna have to get mentally ready, mentally prepared, prepare their body all season. It's gonna be rough. I'm on paper. I have a ceiling of 11-6, but I'm hoping for 9-8. I'm hoping for a chance at a wild card spot. That has been my prediction. That's been my hope all year long. So Any questions, comments, concerns on the Bears schedule? Which again, I'll finish it off by saying listed as the third easiest schedule on paper. So that's that. Any thoughts, questions, concerns?
No, I mean they have a pretty easy first half of the season, it seems like. So they have a chance to get their team going early and integrated and get the chemistry building up. But it's going to be tough near the end against all the divisional teams and some tough teams in there as well. So um, we'll just have to see how this season goes. I think the Bears fans can have more optimism than ever going into this year. They have a very good team, very good offense, and should be exciting nonetheless, however this season goes for you guys.
Yeah, for what it's worth, as those last 8 weeks of the season last year, the Bears played with their hair on fire. So it's fun to watch. They were a much better defense all throughout. So I don't want to bank on them being a second half team. I want them to be an all season team and be just good all season long, be consistent and just have those minor goals exactly that for Caleb Williams. It's doesn't need to be a 5,000 passing yard season because the Bears haven't had a 4,000 yard passing quarterback yet. So let's aim for that maybe, and then you can also get the single game rookie passing record or along the lines of that. Those records, those dreams aren't out of reach for a guy like Caleb Williams. So a lot of people like to think so. That's fine. There's too much talent to not have that in the inkling in the back of your mind. So I
Intercepted.
nah touchdowns all the time. Uh, yeah, again looking around, the 6 games in the last 8 weeks. That's the like what are we doing? But I understand the Steelers also have something along those lines of that. So it's tough. It is what it is. Last quick comment before I turn over to the Green Bay side, and I'll even ask the same question. Maybe even leave it off with it. 3 primetime games, and then technically 5 standalone games. I'm more than okay with that. I didn't expect any expected about that. You don't want to overwhelm the kiddo, Caleb Williams, but he also it's that idea of like, hey, Bears kind of needed to still earn that, deserve that shining glory, that spot right up in front. They're also not the Jets. The league said that they kind of owe them one because of all the injuries. So I'm fine with again. It's a Thursday night game in week 17. There's a Monday night game week 13, week 15 for week 15 for Minnesota at Minnesota. That's a Monday night game, and then the Sunday night game. But again, like I said, the standalone game, London game, week 6, and then early morning Thanksgiving. So we got to end or we got to make sure our turkey bowl is all done in time by 11:30 Central.
Oh,
So
we'll be ready to go.
oh yeah, should be fantastic. So I'm okay with the amount of primetime games that the Bears got, standalone games. I'm all for it. If that's the case, I'll flip it on over to you, Green Bay Packers side of things. How's their schedule looking?
All right, yeah, let me switch my background. Uh-oh.
Rudro.
I
Yeah,
thought
I
I
got.
had it saved, but here we
That's
go.
okay.
I have it right here.
That's okay. We don't need to look at that logo the whole time. Look at that. Yeah, ugh.
Oh man.
Oh man, holy
This,
cannoli.
this is way
Oh, and I
more
just looked at
boring.
how much the Brazil ticket is. $1,159 to lead off your.
No, it isn't.
That's the ticket.
Are you kidding
That's
me?
nice. According to ESPN, it says tickets as low as $1,159. That's how
Oh
low the.
my God. Well, yeah, I mean, starting the season off against the Eagles in Brazil, apparently a lot of Packer fans there. Makes sense because Brazil is the same color as the Packers, so they're probably just like Packers.
The
Whoa.
clackers, yeah.
So I feel like it will be kind of a lot of fans on the Packers side, but I don't know how either team will perform in Brazil. I don't know. They just added Saquon Barkley this offseason, the Eagles, so it's gonna be tough to beat them. I feel like it's just going to be a very tough week one. I honestly, I'm going to say the Packers lose the first game against the Eagles because as much as I'd love for them to win, it's just me thinking I think it's a very tough matchup for them. Rooting for Jordan Love and them to get it done always, but that's just me saying my gambling point of view. But then this is where it gets good. I mean, they got the Colts week two cooked. The Colts are cooked up. I just want to make sure the green is home games, I think. White is away. Um, yeah, so at Lambeau, Colts cooked up, and then you got the Titans in Tennessee, cook them too. I think they'll be 2-1 at this point. And then you got Minnesota at Lambeau too. I mean, good night, J. McCarthy, Aaron Jones. You're gonna be, I don't know what you're gonna be seeing, but it's not gonna be good.
It's
Three to
Aaron Jones'
one.
revenge game, my man.
3-1. We have the Rams. Like, really? They're washed up. They're washed. Like they're washed up. They traded everything, spent everything to win a Super Bowl. Congrats, you did it. Good job. Now you suck. You have no chance against us. You're cooked. That's 4-1 then. I mean, and then the Cardinals, like Marvin Harrison Jr. is a flash in the pan. He might not even get one catch against Jair Alexander. That's another win. That's 5-1 at this point. They have a fluke loss against the Eagles, and they just continue to win. This game, Texans. This I can't believe this isn't a prime time game. Packers
That
and Texans
that's
in
true.
Lambeau.
That is pretty wild. Let me check the week 7 games for you on that to see what is the primetime games.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Go keep going.
Yeah, that'll be a very good game. That's also, I mean, I'm on the fence about that one. It can go either way, but at this point, I'm all Pack. I mean, I'm gonna say that the Packers get it done in Lambeau. They're just on a roll right now.
So so the Thursday night game is disgusting. It's Broncos at Saints.
What?
Yeah. The Sunday night game does not get any better. It's Jets at Steelers. And then there's get this. There's 2 Monday night games on week 7. So you could have fit that one in. You definitely could have had Packers and Houston on a Monday night if there's two of them.
What
Ravens
are they?
and Ravens and Bucks and then
Oh,
Chargers and Cardinals. Oh my God. That is
man, they hate
insane.
us.
Yeah, dude.
They
You
hate
guys
us.
got
After the Packers
booked.
just had a great season, the Texans too. Fuck you. Fuck them then. I
And I
mean, at
mean,
this,
look at your schedule. You have 3 noon games in a row. That's nice that you get yourself in a routine. After that,
we have a lot of noon games this
yeah,
year.
there's 7 weeks. There's 6 noon games with one 3:25 game fit in there, but it'll be technically a noon game. It'll be 3:25 Central, but it'll be 12:25 Los Angeles time. So it'll still be a noon game for these
Still just
guys.
12 o'clock.
Yeah, there'll be a noon team. God.
I mean, I love it. I'll be able to watch them right at the beginning of the day every Sunday, then get it going early. Um, I feel like I'm giving them too many wins, but fuck it at this point. They beat the Texans, Jaguars, like because at this point, if they can beat these other teams, if they can beat the Texans and like Jaguars, good night. Like you lose. I mean, I mean, I just
So wild.
this is
It's so
I
wild.
I'm so this is such a change from last season where I thought they'd win like no game. I mean, we did this last year, and I was so like, I don't know how this is gonna go. Jordan Love, we don't know how good he's gonna be, but now I'm just fully like, fuck it. Like Packers are gonna be cooking it up. Um, Lions, maybe they lose this one. The hot streak maybe comes to a close at the hands of Dan Campbell,
That's it.
and
No,
then
it's a 3:25 game, so that kind of makes sense.
they get a bye week to relax, and then so they get a bye week to relax before Caleb Williams. I mean, this is going to be the big one of the biggest games of this season. the teams are going to be fully
Oh,
ready to go at this
I
point.
hate both these even more now. I didn't even realize y'all are coming off the bye and then playing the Bears. And then again in Green Bay week 18. So again, if it matters, it's all on your side. Oh, so annoying. So
Get some
annoying.
extra time to prepare for Soldier Field. Get 2 weeks to prepare for Matt LaFleur. Um, it'll be a very close game. I can't. I'm saying the Packers win. I can't say I
That's
can't.
fine. I'm saying the Bears win. I mean, that's just how it's gonna
I
be. I understand that.
I just can't say it. We lose the 49ers. We'll probably lose that game. I mean, that's just we can't beat them for some reason. The Dolphins, they have a lot of speed, but
This is
we
Thanksgiving prime time. This is the night game.
that's awesome. Another Thanksgiving game for the Packers.
A rematch from Christmas Day from last year,
Oh yeah.
which is a
Um,
fantastic. That was a fun game.
I'm, I feel like Packers are gonna have a great season. I mean, I'm gonna take the Packers here. And I'm going to take the Packers for this next game against the Lions in Detroit. We get one against them. Fuck you. Seahawks. Oh man, I hate them so much. I Anytime I see the Seahawks, I always think back to the playoffs when they just completely blew the onside kick. One of my worst memories as a sports fan ever compared to some, I bet people in Chicago that probably love that moment.
I remember where I was for that one. That was a great game. I was at the Wings place just down the street. That was a good one.
Yeah, I remember like Sebastian and all of those guys calling me on the phone, all like, what happened?" Like
What
they were all in
done?
a
What
they were all in a
happened?
car, and I remember like everybody like, "What happened?" Like that. It's like, are you kidding me?
That's pretty good.
I
That's a
can't
tough one.
believe this.
I mean,
But
good on you for even answering. I wouldn't have done that. I would have
yeah, I
said
would have
no.
blocked them. I should have just blocked them. No,
Turn my phone off for the day for sure.
Seahawks, good night. You suck. Saints, like again, I feel the Packers are better than all these teams. And really, things can always change. Anyone can win any given Sunday, but as of right now, where I stand, Saints, you're cooked. Like you don't win. And Vikings, you just suck. We're gonna sweep them. We're gonna sweep the Bears. We're gonna beat the Bears week 18 too. We're gonna lose one to the Lions. We'll probably be 5-1 in the division
You're
this year.
15-2. That's what you got the Packers at.
Yep, and winning the Super Bowl. That's that's where I'm at right now.
It is a complete 180 from where you were at last year. I think
I'm flipped the switch.
I'm gonna have to pull it back from where we both were because I think we were both on the opposite. I had one realistic. I was no no I was out there. I said 14-3 last year for the Bears, but I was like, all right, I'll pull it back and be like, if they're 11-6, I'll live with that. Not even close. They were 7-10. So now it's kind of flipped, and I hope it's the same outcome for you. I hope you guys are 7-10. So with the Bears taking care of the division.
I
Um
should have not said anything.
But I do want to pull it back. No, you were like I said, you were down in the dumps last year. Like, yeah, they're playing the XFL team loss, and they're playing the London Silly Nannies loss. Yeah, you were very down in the dumps last year. I actually no, I'm all for this. This is gonna be good because it'll be hopefully again like I said a rivalry. I don't want this to be a. I want it to be a win for the Bears right away, so it is something worth something going on for the next couple of years and seasons to make that last game worth something, make the week 18 worth
Yeah,
something.
for sure.
All games are worth something. I don't want to say that, but it'll just be much more fun throughout, the national audience for that. Like I said, hopefully it does get flexed to some sort of night game or something like that. That'd be cool.
For sure.
Um, but
But
yeah, I
Bears
didn't
and Packers both get Thanksgiving games, and they've got some primetime games, so
Yeah,
Decent.
so yeah, I'll also trying to breeze through maybe the Thursday night schedule. The Thursday night, the Sunday night, the Monday night schedule. I know Monday night week 12 or week 13 is the Harbaugh Bowl, the Chargers and the Ravens.
Mm.
Um, but I want to also try and guess and see any other revenge games. I was just gonna also try and pull up the wins and losses, win totals for both these teams. I think for the Bears it might be lingering or hovering right around 8.5, but I could be wrong. Excuse me. Uh, yeah, let me see. None of this, all this NFL stuff, and none of this wants to pull up right away. Uh, yeah, kind of like I said, we'll look at some win totals really quick. They already got players and awards. Oh yeah, this is ought to be good. Team props. Is it gonna be under team props? Nope. Game props, futures, maybe futures.
Mm.
This is always fun. This is always fun to do live.
What are you looking for?
I am looking for the team totals
Oh, I can help with that.
to make the playoffs. Division winner? No. Well, I actually let's quickly look at division winner. Uh, for the Bear for to win the NFC Central or the NFC Central, the NFC North. Lions, Packers, Bears, and Vikings a little far out there. So Lions plus 150, Packers plus 210, Bears plus 265, and the Vikings are plus 1,000. I mean, I
No,
wouldn't put the whole house on it, but if you want to sprinkle something on the Bears, it's not the worst thing, or even the Packers if you're a
Packers.
Packer guy. Lions, like you say, if you're getting plus money at plus 150, it's not too bad for a team that's not that signed and sealed up a lot of guys. Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, Amon St. Brown.
I
That's
would.
looking pretty good. What's up? Uh-oh. Oh my no, Jesus Christ. No, don't disconnect. Please do not disconnect. Please, please, please. There we go. I think we're back online.
We're back.
There we go. Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right.
I listed off the division winners right there.
Yeah, I was just saying, I wouldn't bet on the Lions because I don't think that they don't, with the way that the Packers and the Bears are now, I don't think the Lions have a chance of winning this division. I mean, they're the favorite right now, but I
It
don't
should be a
know.
little bit closer than what it's priced at. I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
Falcons are minus 130 to win the division. Again, I'm not gonna put a humongous wager on it, but I would take my money on this on the Bucks again. I think it's gonna be much closer than a lot of people think.
we called
Uh,
that last year. They were the least weren't they the highest odds and we said they'd win the division and they
y-
did cook it up.
that was
So
you. You said that. I do not want to take credit for that because that was you. I think I might have said the Falcons. I could have been wrong.
I
Yeah,
said Baker Mayfield starts cooking, and that's
yeah.
all that mattered, and they he
Because
figured it out.
we were sitting there and we both for sure said no to the Saints. The Saints were the favorite. We're both sitting there like, how are the Saints the favorite? We know that. So I think I rolled with the Falcons and you rolled with the Bucks.
Yeah, I think so.
And again, I mean, we can always run that back as well because we both looked at the Panthers like not even a chance.
Yeah,
Uh,
no. And they're probably the highest odds again out of any division. Or the
they
Patriots look like the highest at plus 2,500.
yeah, because yeah, exactly. The Panthers are actually plus
That division,
1,500.
yeah, the Patriots are, going up against the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think.
And yeah, while the Patriots are a better team than the Panthers have it's just an easier shot to win that NFC South just because
Yeah.
it's a much harder toss up or I don't know, it's kind of a toss up all the way
Being in
around.
the AFC East, those are just some tough
Yeah.
teams to
Even
play
even
against.
losing Stephon Diggs, the Bills are still the favorite right there to win the division, which is kind of crazy.
Jets.
At plus 170. Yeah, with the Jets just right behind them. You could take the Jets at plus 190.
People have said it.
This is how it kind of should be for the NFC North, where it's plus 170, plus 190, plus 200. That's the sweet spot. That's what it should be. But it's a little bit
I think
more
people forgot about Aaron Rodgers already.
already.
Disrespecting with that, the Jets will win that division if Aaron Rodgers is healthy. They will win that division.
There you have it. To let's see, maybe to make the playoffs might find a nice juicy number. Exact result, championship. No exact result. Starting QB, this might be where you can get ooh, okay, so Bo Nix is minus 425 for the Broncos. Gardner Minshew's minus 180 for the Raiders. Minus 155 for Sam Darnold to be the Viking starter, as opposed to JJ McCarthy plus 120.
Wow.
Uh, of course, already announced Caleb Williams, so nothing on the Bears starter. Jacoby Brissett minus 300 over Drake May, which is looking like the case. I heard it was on ESPN, so I don't want to say it was an inside scoop. So Jacoby Brissett took far more snaps than Drake May did the other day.
Hmm.
So that could be the trend, but slowly integrating Drake May into the offense might be the case. So there's none of these are none of these are jumping out and like, hey, you should hop on that as the underdog.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields plus 450 to start.
Did you see this? There just today, there's a clip of him saying, "I'm not planning on sitting on the bench all season."
Well, not all
Apparent,
season, but I mean, I
apparently,
think
apparently, there's some they've been battling, but he's the highest odds out of anyone, which is why might be worth a shot. Who knows?
yeah,
Who
sure.
knows?
If you're just if you're rolling the dice, if you got a couple extra bucks hanging around, it's not the worst thing. Team props maybe. I'm so bad. Like, why can't I? Why maybe they just don't have it right now.
What?
Stat leaders, rookie leaders, team specials, wins. Maybe it's under wins. Yeah, maybe the win total is under wins. Fucking god damn
Hmm.
it. uh, uh, Packers came up first. Their over under is at 10.5. The
Over.
over is at plus 130 for
Over.
so 11 wins.
Yeah, I said they'd get 15.
Yeah, yeah.
So over.
Yeah, with that logic, yes, you would hit your number.
I
But of
literally
course,
put I'm gonna bet on that for sure.
plus 130 is a nice one. Are the where are the Bears? The Bears. It's not in
Where did you
alphabetical
find that?
order. So if you go to NFL futures and then it's under the wins tab, or it might just be in the no, it's not the futures tab. It's a if you keep going down the line, it is the wins tab.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bears number 8.5 minus 165, kind of a juice bag. So not looking too good. If you want to maybe bump, if there's a way I can bump up the number or change the amount of wins, I would love to do that.
You know what I'm gonna take?
What are you gonna take?
The Packers 17-0 plus 10,000. Perfect season.
How about an 0-17? I have 0-17 prop right here
Oh, to not win a
for a
game.
team to go 0-17, which after 3 weeks.
17.
Heard that walking through. That's hilarious.
Yeah, the
My
Packers
brother
won.
just yeah, I could not believe 17-0.
Yeah, here's this one. Any team to go 0-17 is minus 2,000 for no. So they're thinking some team is actually going to go, actually win. But
That is crazy, yeah.
last winless team is actually pretty juicy. You can probably find a pretty good number right there. Uh, it'd have to depend on the schedule because it's plus 600 for the Patriots. If you just want to even take in the leader right there, that's good. A plus
That is
600 number.
that's an interesting. You got to really deep dive into those schedules
Oh yeah,
and
because
see.
of course it might be one of those things where early on, the underdog scoops one, and that might be their one and only win for the next 14 weeks. So
Yeah.
it might be one of those
Football's
things
so
like that.
unpredictable. I mean, any sport can be like that, but
Oh yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, I found the undefeated tab. Let's see where the Bears stacking for undefeated. Yeah, I see plus 10,000 for the Packers, and it scares me that I don't see the
The
Bears.
Packers have one of the best odds, which is crazy.
Because I mean,
Like
again,
they're in
looking
the
at the
top
schedule,
10.
it's very similar to the Bears. It's very light, it just all again, looking at the times, they can get a nice routine out of it.
The Bears are a little, they're 20,000 plus 20,000.
Okay. I mean, again, that 100% makes sense. I'm not going to sit here and get offended. Like they're essentially a brand new team. Like these are all
You can
very
put
new.
$5 on that and win 1,000.
Yeah, all right. That's count me in, Bucko. Win $1,000 if they go
And it's
undefeated.
just like they win the first week, you're like, come on.
Count
Like,
cat cash out.
cash out with like
Yeah,
$10.
why not?
Fuck it.
Money's in the crumbs, Mike. The money's in the crumbs.
You have to start somewhere.
This is how I win, baby. Oh shit. All righty.
I love looking. The props are always awesome. I love looking. I always say it's crazy how many different things you can bet on for
Oh
this
yeah.
sort of stuff. They have really anything that you can think of.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, looking around, like I said, those were looking pretty good. Just looking at the time, I don't want to linger too long on this. Thursday night, Sunday night football, Monday night football. I mean, they're all pretty fantastic. I kind of quickly let me pull up really quickly the Thursday night. Thursday nights kind of they pick up in the second half, but there are some like, all right, I understand these are Thursday night scheduled games for sure. So kind of just if one pops off, just kind of just say something and then we'll just quickly go by. But Bills and Dolphins in week 2 ought to be pretty good.
Yeah, that
Patriots
sounds great.
Jets.
Yeah,
Cowboys and Giants, that's going to be an ass whooping.
yeah.
Bucks and Falcons is going to be one of those disgusting ones where a defensive touchdown ends up winning it. So I hate and I like those all at the same time. So that's fine. Uh, but San Francisco and Seattle, week 6, that ought to be pretty good. But yeah, week 7, they should be flipped. They should be switched to that Houston and Green Bay, like we said. Broncos, Saints, Vikings, Rams to follow. Doesn't get much better. Texans, Jets. That ought to be pretty good as long as everyone's healthy.
Yeah,
Bang,
that's a good one.
Bengals, Ravens, week 10. It picks up there.
Oh,
Then it turns back down. Commanders, Eagles, Steelers,
like Jesus.
Steelers and Browns. I said this on the live show. I know there's talent and I know there's going to be a couple people here and there. I have no interest in watching any Cleveland Browns games this year. There's no one on that team. Again, love me some David Njoku. I'm sure Nick Chubb will be back and healthy, but I have no interest in that Browns team this year.
I love me some Amari Cooper, but
Yeah, I
he's
just
the he's him. Yeah, he's like one of the only players on there that's notable.
they just play gritty defense and it's in a tough division. So I know that might be a 17-10 ball game. I'm just not very interested in watching a Cleveland Browns game this year. Raiders and Chiefs can pick it up potentially. Any Chiefs matchup is worth watching. Packers and Lions in week 14.
Hmm.
Rams and Niners week 15. Again, Browns and Bengals. Bengals, as long as Burrow's good to go, I'll be watching. And Seahawks and Bears could potentially get flexed. I understand. Again, it's just one of those things, but that's the Thursday night schedule. I'll quickly pull up the Sunday night football schedule as well.
Oh,
Uh yeah, but I mean those all sound pretty well. Like I said, that Bengals and Ravens one, that sounded
yeah, some
fantastic.
pretty good sounding games, some ass whoopings, but that's what can you do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sunday night football schedule for this year. God, it keeps changing it every time I do it. So I apologize for that one.
Oh,
Sunday
you're
night
all good.
football, for this year. Let me breeze through that. Just kind of similar. Like I said, if we got a good one, we'll put up our hand and go, ooh yeah, ooh ah. So Sunday night, week 1, Rams Lions. Ooh, I mean already Jared Goff versus Matthew Stafford again. Which if you saw that one graphic, minus the Super Bowl, it's been the most even trade potentially of all time. Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford have put up essentially the same numbers as each other, same amount of wins, same amount of losses, same amount of turnovers, same amount of touchdowns. It's pretty crazy. Oh God. There we go. This Wi-Fi is so janky and bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I was leading off with, finishing up with, but we'll kind of just yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. I had the Sunday night schedule in front of me.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Rams Lions. So like I said, I don't know when it stopped recording, so I'll kind of just preview it. Like I said, it was Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford, which is kind of, if you saw that graphic, basically the most even trade of all time. Basically the same amount of passing yards, passing touchdowns, same amount of turnovers, same amount of wins, same amount of losses, minus a Super Bowl win for Matthew Stafford. It's been the most even trade of all time. But that leads off for week 1 on Sunday Night Football. Week 2, we got the Bears Texans, so I'll of course be watching. Chiefs and
There we go.
Falcons, week 3. Bills Ravens. Oh man, give me that on week 4. Cowboys and Steelers. Yeah, okay. We'll see again. See how it rolls. The name powers there. Who's star power? We'll see how that pans out. Bengals and Giants. That's an ass whooping. Jets Steelers. Again, as long as everyone's healthy, should be fine. Uh, Cowboys Niners. Ooh yeah, October 27th.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh yeah. Jags and Eagles, followed by the Lions and the Texans, the Colts and the Jets. Again, these some underrated ones for sure, which I'm not gonna be completely like, oh, holy cow. Eagles and Rams, again, kind of losing me a little bit there. Niners and Bills picks up again there for sure.
Yeah.
Chargers and Chiefs, as long as the Chargers are looking good, that ought to be good. Packers and Seahawks towards the end, Bucks, Cowboys, Dolphins, and Browns, and then a to be determined for Sunday night uh, as well. And then we'll wrap it up really quick. Monday night football games.
Monday Night Football.
Monday night football. Like I said, this one had the Harbaugh Bowl in it towards the end. Yeah, week
Hmm.
12 is the Harbaugh Bowl. Ravens at Chargers, but quickly. Jets, Niners, Falcons, Eagles, ugh. Jags, Bills, and then Commanders at Bengals. So that's weird. So we get two in a row on Monday nights, week 3 and week 4, two double headers. Titans, Dolphins following that, and then Seahawks and Lions. So that the Seahawks and Lions game just sounds high scoring.
Yeah.
Saints, Chiefs, nope. Bills, Jets, yeah. Ravens, Bucks, and then there's also another doubleheader. But that on ESPN Plus. Oh boy. Yeah, as opposed to just keep going through that, I'd rather just quickly rant on the whole idea of like, how many more? How many more subscriptions do we need? How many more?
Yeah. They're on a bunch of games are on a bunch of different streaming platforms.
Netflix and Amazon
And
and
Peacock
Hulu and
and
Peacock and I don't even know. They're gonna be on Disney Plus soon, I'm sure. Actually they are with they'll probably run it back with the Toy Story game. So it is getting absolutely ridiculous where you're like, oh yeah, no, t TV and cable is a scam, but I'm gonna have 7 different subscriptions that all equal the same amount. So
Hmm.
it's annoying. It's stupid. I've gotten into this whole thing before where it's exactly that. It's
Yeah,
so dumb. Uh
they robbed us, they tricked us,
oh,
those
100%.
streaming
100%.
platforms.
Finishing off, like I said, I not enough time really. Already kind of getting into the 8 o'clock hour over here. I just wanted to, if you're cool, let's just talk AEW Double or Nothing, yeah?
Yeah, we can. I guess we could just mention real fast, just like where we're at with the NBA playoffs.
Oh,
Just
sure.
say like, 'cause I just had this graphic here. Where was it? We'll just
There's
skim
actually a game
through
going on
this.
as we are recording. So, I mean, it's
Yep.
the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals. It is the Boston Celtics hosting the Pacers currently as we're talking. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. The Celtics, excuse me, are up 10, 47-37. I'm leaning
Okay.
towards a 6 game series at best. The Celtics have dropped at least one. I think the Pacers are good enough to not only earn one but can sneak one in the series and force it to 6. So that's my mindset. Celtics will
I,
go ahead and get it done though. On the other side, my West Coast squad, my West Coast team is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ow! Loved game 7. Loved both game 7s, actually. Uh, Going up against your guy, your squad, Luca, and the Dallas Mavericks. Uh, this is so exciting. This is going to be one of the best matchups. Uh, my question to you, honestly, I know you were going to kind of preview and talk about it as well, but with Luca, Anthony Edwards, with a couple other guys on the Minnesota as well, but Luca, Kyrie, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, and then on the East Coast side, you got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis if he comes back, Tyrese Halliburton, and Miles Turner. Is that enough star power, for the casual to come in? I personally think, the hardcore fan is already there. They're already watching. It might be a little bit of an ask, but if they actually sat down and watched, they would enjoy this basketball. But I know I might know what you're leaning towards. Is there enough star power in these two conference finals?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I honestly don't know how the Pacers got this far. I mean, the fact that they have a chance to make it to the NBA Finals is pretty wild.
Sorry, really quick. I recall the Pacers at the beginning of the year. My prediction was that, yeah, take the Pacers to be just, a play-in squad. They're plus 125. That's going to be the steal of the year. Sure enough, it was. They were a 6 seed, and they've just made it all the way through to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, with some tough, again, I don't want to say injuries helped or what. That's just completely undertaking and everything that Tyrese Halliburton and that squad did. They earned it. They earned the right to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. So you play who you got. You play who's in front of you. This might be a tough challenge. This might be a tougher challenge than the Celtics. But again, there's been bigger surprises. This Pacer team plays pretty well all around. So, but the
Oh
Boston
yeah.
Celtics are kind of just head and shoulders better than everybody else right now. But yeah, still previewing. Go for it. Any other lingering thoughts?
No, yeah, I think that there's enough star power for the most part with all the other teams. I will say I think the Celtics win, and then the Mavericks and Timberwolves series is going to be awesome. I mean, Luka's one of my favorite players, and Anthony Edwards has just been amazing. So this will be the must-watch series of these two conference finals, and I mean, I'm Team Luca, so I hope he gets a chance to win his first ring this year.
This
And
is
it's
no, keep going. Go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
I was either way you were probably going to say either way. I mean, Jason Tatum's going to get his first ring, or Anthony Edwards, or Luca, or Tyrese Halliburton, they're all going to get their first ring. Someone will. So that's what we like
That's the
to
best
see.
part. I think that while it might, again, the casual might be like, who are the Anthony Edwards? No, this is the face, this is the future coming in, and it's really cool that all these young bloods, all this young talent has the opportunity to get their first ring. Again, maybe minus Kyrie, who already has one with Cleveland.
Yeah,
I think he has two. Uh, Everyone's all four of these teams, all four of these guys, five, however more, between Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam's already a champion actually with Toronto.
yeah,
So
he
I
has a
pull
ring too.
I retract that. But Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Luca again. Really cool for the NBA for these guys to all be like, hey, this is an opportunity. So that could much be the drive right there. It's gonna be very exciting. Luca versus Anthony Edwards is going to be the matchup, the watch, everything. That's going to be the squad to watch. If you told me at the end of this whole playoff that it was going to be those two teams, those two guys at the end for the West, I wouldn't have been like so shocked. But I'm like, okay, with that amount of that talent pool, that is still pretty crazy. And to be honest, any finishing team in the Western Conference for either one, I'd be like, all right, yeah, no, that's pretty wild for that matchup. So
Um,
I'm excited. I'm excited. The league should be excited. They should be very happy. It's how this has been a very just every round. It's not like everything's dragging. No, these playoffs have been very very active and very very cool. So
oh, for sure.
very much enjoying the playoffs so far. Um, yeah, this has been fantastic. So we'll be I'm leaning towards. I'm again the optimistic side. I'll take the Timberwolves in 6, but I also look through the lens of if it goes the distance, I think Luca might be the only one there to have that mentality to go the distance, to want to go the distance, to have it be done. So he might, if it goes 7, I would have to go towards Dallas side. So
Mm.
if it's any, if if the if the Timberwolves don't want to play around with their food and just lock down and understand that they're, the Dallas ID is literally just what Luca does that day. And while Kyrie has been a fantastic piece, has been, even a rejuvenation in his career, the way that Luca and him have been playing together, it is, the Minnesota is a 48-minute team of, we're locked down, we're locking you down, we're in your face for 48 minutes the whole time. And
Yeah.
you saw that in the Denver series. You saw that especially in game 2 when they locked them the fuck down. So that's going to be the thing. What Minnesota team, what defensive squad is going to show up to lock down Dallas, to lock down Luca and Kyrie at that particular time? Because solid squad, but Darius Garland doesn't scare me. PJ Washington don't scare me. That would be the mentality. That should be the mentality of Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, and Anthony Edwards. Nas Reed is a different animal. This is a deep, deep squad over Minnesota, and that's what I'm very much enjoying. So that's been fun. I'll optimistically say Wolves in 6. If it goes past that, I could see Dallas taking it in 7. So there's that side. Boston, I think I already said it earlier. I'll take them in 6. I would be very surprised if it went 7, and be incredibly surprised if it went any which way towards the Pacers end. Because, yeah, I mean, they're plus 700 to win the series. It's pretty wild. They're giving these guys no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. The Celtics have
Yeah.
just been rolling through
Yeah.
whoever's in
I,
front of
I
them.
I'm not gonna sit there and say, and then the Pacers are boring. I'm not ESPN. I'm not, they were so upset that the Knicks did not advance into the Eastern Conference Finals. Uh, but the Pacers might just be one guy short. They're an extremely young team. I mean, their leader is 23 years old, 24 years old in Tyrese Halliburton. So if you got a bright future ahead of you with that team. Um,
For
but
sure.
yeah, I think that's pretty good. Like I said, I'll just update it one more time just before we get done with NBA. Looking like probably within 5, the Pacers did
Oh man.
52-47 with about 5 minutes left in the second quarter. So they're doing something. They're trying. Oh boy, they're trying. I'll try and pull up the game actually while we're doing a little bit of talking. But if you're good on that, we can maybe shift gear. Oh, never mind. It's asking me to sign in. Don't have the sign in. Don't care. Uh, if you're good on that, we can shift gears over to AEW and a little bit of Double or Nothing before you head on out.
Yeah.
Coolio, coolio. So there's one more Dynamite, so this might not be set in stone. There might be 1 or 2 lingering matches to be added, but so far a solid card. 8 matches confirmed for AEW's Double or Nothing. I can kind of blast through them, and again we can just hit that. I'll preview every single match, or I'll list off every single match, and then we'll hit the ones we really want to get to. So we have Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta, going through that little grudge match, little ending of a friend and a beginning of a rivalry type deal. There's that. There we got Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Oh, it's an eliminator match, so I don't think it's for the title. It's like for a tournament. I don't know. It's been weird.
Okay.
And then after that, Adam Copeland, Edge, Adam Copeland, the TNT champion, taking on Malachi Black for the TNT championship inside a barbed wire steel cage. And
Hell yeah.
if there's not enough already on that, if Copeland loses, he must bend the knee to the House of Black. So there's a ton of factors going on there. Um, Another potential show stealer right here, and anytime it's with one of these guys, it's very valid. Roderick Strong, Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship.
Hmm.
That's gonna be fantastic. Uh, Coming up, AEW Women's World Championship, Timeless Tony Storm, may I add, and Serena Deeb. Because it should be a fine technical match right there. Anarchy in the Arena, the Elite consisting of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Okada and Jack Perry will take on FTR, Brian Danielson, and Darby Allin. For the TBS Championship, it will be Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné, CEO.
Mhm.
And for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, you got Christian Cage, and you got the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion in Swerve Strickland. Again, a solid card. Like I said, we can kind of ping pong, maybe even pick which match we want to talk about first. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Um, I guess we could start from the bottom, right? We can maybe like add Adam Copeland and Malachi first or something.
Oh yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, sure enough. This has been brewing for a long time. This little back and forth between Adam Copeland kind of joining or just messing with the House of Black. You got Booty Murphy, Buddy Matthews. It also involved Brody King. Having that what are taking the ring off of Adam and like take it, yeah, just stealing it. So it was a whole bit right there. Again, having to bend the knee to the House of Black eventually, but haven't seen the whole barbed wire steel cage gimmick since like 2004 No Way Out when it was JBL versus Big Show in a barbed wire steel cage match. And
Yeah,
of course, if you remember one of the best swerves of all time, some of the best cam work if I do remember. JBL is thrown through the ring. Big Show walks out of the cage. They ring the bell, and then they say, "And still." You're like, "And still," and you're like, "Oh, you forget." JBL went through the ring, so he crawled out the bottom, and he was ended up winning. So, a good swerve right there. That obviously that's not going to be the one here. This ought to be good. This is going to be violent. Just seems like Adam Copeland's been having fun ever since he's been added to AEW. So if it's
oh
a
yeah.
little loud, if it's a little gimmicky with the again putting a hat on a hat with the barbed wire, adding into the steel cage, just adds into the idea like, hey, we're keeping these guys inside this cage no matter what it takes. Damn it! So it ought to be good. What do you think with Malachi Black and Adam Copeland? Who do you think takes the dub?
Um, I'm gonna say Adam Copeland. I mean, X. I don't know if they're gonna keep doing the House of Black stuff with him. I don't know if they'll make Adam Copeland bow down to them or just like be their servants for however knows how much time. So
I did hear
I
if that ends up happening, would it feel like Judgment Day version 2?
yeah, basically, but he was in charge though, but he just
Yeah, he
wouldn't be.
was.
He would basically just be like a slave to House of Black.
Yeah, he would.
Which it would be cool if they did that, I guess, but I think that it'll just be a really good match and Adam Copeland will probably ultimately get the W here.
Yeah, I think it is kind of in line with that. Of course, we've been all begging, everyone's been begging for Malachi to get some sort of singles run with a title longer than X amount of weeks. But
It's true.
again, some guys just don't want to play ball. I don't know what the case is. I think it should be a fun match regardless. So can't go wrong either way with who goes
Yeah.
over. I think it should be good. Um, I think we obviously another one. I already said this could be the show stealer. Roderick Strong, Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship. Again, you cannot go wrong with who wins this one because if Will Ospreay wins, obviously you're strapping a rocket ship to this guy's back for a good reason. He's all the talent in the world. He's a workhorse, no matter what Triple H says. He's the guy that you want being the face of your company. He just works so damn hard with the great matches that he has. On top of that, international superstar. Put the AEW international title on that guy. And he wants to go, to London to all around, bounce around to the indies and defend the title. It'll look good, spread the word, spread the AEW word. That's fine. If you go the Roderick Strong route and he still retains and Matt Taven and what with the Chris or Adam
Oh
I
my, yeah, I don't even I'm blanking with that other guy's name.
Yeah, married
Mike
to
Kanellis
yeah,
or
Mike Canell.
something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if Mike Kanellis and Matt Taven do something, dastardly, and take care and screw over Will Ospreay, that could be the case too. And that's how they retain. Sure, that'll be a easy out, but it would be a weird way for Will Ospreay to get his first loss. So I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Will Ospreay gets it, and he might even take care of those other two hooligans. So again, what are you feeling for this Will Ospreay Roger Strong matchup?
Well, I mean, any Will Ospreay match is always a must watch, and Roderick Strong has been known to have some very good matches himself, so I'm sure both of them will kill it. I mean, Will Ospreay just never disappoints
Yeah.
ever, so I will be seated for
While
this.
Sorry, yeah, while it wasn't jump off the screen like holy cow, this was the best match ever. Roger Strong and Kyle O'Reilly still had a pretty solid match the last pay-per-view. So that was just that was my also like underrated, like, that could potentially steal the show. These guys have been wrestling with each other forever, and it kind of was, like I said, not 5-star, put it in the Tokyo Dome and it would have been a 7-star. It was a good match. It was a solid matchup. So Roderick Strong still putting together that he'll keep up with Will Ospreay and make him look amazing. Will look amazing, and this will be a fantastic one. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
great and dandy. Of the two women's matchups, I would have to say, again, while Mercedes Moné has all the name power and all that put together, I gotta lean towards Timeless Tony Storm and Serena Deeb as the better matchup. What I would be more looking forward to at all. It- maybe it's just again bouncing the same ideas off the same people. We're just an echo chamber. But me and Double D are kind of convinced that this Timeless Tony Storm gimmick might be the best gimmick going on in wrestling today. Just the way that she carries herself, the black and white, even in the social media picture that was posted of all the AEW gals at
Yeah.
whatever party they were at, she's still in black and white with the red lipstick. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable the kayfabe that is put on, and it's not just that. It is the words that are coming out of her mouth. It's like you relish in or you shine in the light that comes out of my ass or the sunlight that comes out of my whatever it is. Everything that it's spot on. It's fantastic. It's so funny. It's so great. So I think Serena Deeb and Timeless Tony Storm, while again, for some you might look, yeah, okay, I'll probably end up taking a break. This will be good. This will be technically sound matchup, and I'm still looking forward to it. So that'll be a good one right there.
Yeah, I think they'll have a great match. I'm definitely hyped for the Mercedes match though,
Oh,
because
for sure.
I mean, Mercedes Moné's been one of the best since she started. I mean, she was one of the best in WWE. Took some time off, and she hasn't wrestled in AEW yet. So I don't know if Willow's the best person ever to have her first match with, but
I mean, they already had it before at New Japan. That's kind of the whole
that's the
storyline
whole
going into it.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's because she injured her and stuff. But it will be great regardless. I think it'll be a very good match. I mean, Mercedes, very good technical wrestler, just very good wrestler in general. So I
And you
think
are
there's her
correct. Yeah,
chance.
this will be the first match, right? Or
Yeah, she
yeah.
hasn't had a match yet in AEW. This will be her first chance to shine on a big stage like this in AEW and pay-per-view. So definitely one must watch, I think, just to see how if she's still got it.
CEO, CEO.
CEO, CEO.
Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're basically going to touch upon all of them now with that. So Moxley and Takeshita again, it'll just be a Moxley Takeshita type matchup. It'll just be hard
Yeah.
hitting, New Japan hard style, the strong style, the oh, and then you stand up and you hit me now, and then I'll hit you, and then you hit. It'll go back and forth like that again. If that's your cup of tea, we're all for it, and we end up enjoying that. So Takeshita, he's just so underrated and so good.
Yeah.
Moxley end up bleeding, but he'll end up getting the win. It'll still be fine. Unless Don Callis does something dastardly again and gets
Yeah,
another
the
big win for
Callis
Takeshita.
family.
Yeah. Two more. We got Anarchy in the Arena, the Elite versus FTR, Darby Allen and Bryan Danielson. I mean, Darby Allen is It's
Wrong picture.
yeah, it's okay. Darby Allin, while he didn't
Oh, that
go to
was
his
that was last year's
that
Anarchy,
was
right?
yeah, still a solid one right there. Uh, but yeah, while Darby Allin didn't get his Mount Everest trip, he got hit by a bus instead, and then I guess he's miraculously making this return, and he's gonna turn around and be back in time for Vegas and being able to get thrown off in another car crash, I guess, in this Anarchy in the Arena style matchup. Uh, they're gonna beat the tar out of each other. I keep flipping it. This I think I for some reason thought this was blood and guts. I think I mix it up with they're gonna have the cage. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna throw each other and kill each other from that cage. No, they're just gonna beat the shit out of each other all throughout the MGM
The
brand.
arena.
So that ought to be fun. Of course, we witnessed that in person before when they were just all over the place. We had a nice little bird's eye view of where everyone was. So
We did.
yeah, but also the production crew does their best to keep up, so that ought to be fine. Prediction with Anarchy? You think the Elite just keep this run of wins together?
Yeah, I say the Elite win. They got to
Red
keep
hot.
the momentum going for them.
I mean, again, it just in that terms of like if you're looking at it, Jack Perry's still coming out. I still believe coming out on top with the video. Everyone can be like, oh yeah, he got choked out. No, he didn't. If you have eyeballs, no, he didn't. You can just be a blind CM Punk supporter and be like, yo, ha ha, he ho, ho, he's a choke artist, he ha ha. But no, it's just not the case. He's been red hot. Jack Perry has coming out of this, and he's been looking good. If anything, CM Punk has been handled with kid gloves with this. They don't WWE doesn't want him very much out there. He's been here and there, but hasn't had a match. They're just building up for this whole Drew McIntyre storyline, which again, fine if you want to build that up, but just being it's noticed. It's not under the radar what you're doing with Punky. So that's all I gotta say on that. Um yeah, Anarchy in the Arena gonna be an absolute crazy,
Oh, it's
crazy
just
battle.
crazy. Yeah, it's just got like nonsense, crazy
Yeah.
stuff going on. They're fighting everywhere around the arena. It's
I
just mayhem.
I like the one picture of well, of course, no, sorry, Cash was dropped of all his charges with the gun, the whole gun situation. But that was the big post was like Cash Wheeler during Anarchy in the Arena. It was the wrestler that pulls out the gun during the Japan show, and he pulls it out. And he's pointing at everybody. So that was the joke going around there. But nah, he's fine. He's gonna be fun. Uh,
He's all good. He's
yeah,
safe.
all leading up to the main event. Swerve taking on Christian. And I don't know if this has been the trend, and I don't know if it's in the works, but for every time Christian Cage has made the main event in an AEW pay-per-view, someone crazy then debuts after. There's been no sort of build up like that. There's been no rumors or anything like that for it. And even if you're like, oh yeah, MJF, Double or Nothing or Forbidden Doors actually in Long Island. So I would kind of think they're gonna hold off for that even. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be the case, but having a Christian Cage matchup isn't still the worst here in 2024. Still building off the whole thing that he's a bad father, that he's not there enough. That was interesting. Putting Swerve's blood on the image on the printed out picture. That was trying to
His
build that
props to
there.
Christian for still doing great work and being able to be in good shape enough and be able to kill it where he can have a main event match
Yeah.
in 2024. So
Yeah, this is again. This regardless, everyone's just like AEW no storylines. That's just because you're just not paying attention. I even had that instance today where someone's like, yeah, you're gonna watch AEW. I'm like, they're just ripping off this. I'm like, you can just put your hand up and say you
you
don't
don't
watch it.
watch. Yeah.
It's fine. Like it's okay. Just if you don't know things, just say I don't know. It's more than okay. Not everyone needs to know everything. So it's just like I said, just don't be ignorant and say ridiculous things like, oh yeah, they're just ripping off this or they're doing that because that's just not what's happening. It's just as simple as that. Where I don't like I said, I don't want to be like the hardo just trying to defend AEW. If it was the other person, like, yeah, no, WWE's just ripping off this. Probably not. They're actually pretty running with some original material here and there. So it's not like it's they're wrestling's just cooking. It's just it is
Yeah, you
what it
just
is.
have to enjoy all of
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Uh, Overall, I'm looking forward to a solid match. I mean, obviously, Swerve is going to retain. I mean, his first major
Yeah.
defense on a pay per view. He's put together a couple already, but it's been solid. It's been solid. It's been fun. Swerve this title run already has been pretty great. All that it's cracked up to be. He deserved it. He deserves this run. He deserves everything. He deserves a long
Maybe
run. I think
Hangman will show up and beat him up after the
that
match
would
or something.
that would be something. That I did not even think about that. Wow. Yeah, that's exactly that. That could be as soon as you hear, yeah, as soon as the win happens, he gets his flowers, he gets to walk around, then all he hears down 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 down. Oh my God, it's the Hangman. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that that sets up to be something pretty cool. I'm kind of in that boat. I think me and Double D on well, he's on Blow the Whistle, but we're also on Bad Karma Wrestling. We're in that boat of Swerve is gonna get that 8 month to a year long title reign. He's gonna have that strap for a while.
He
So
should.
get used to it. I know we're set. We're excited. Swerve Strickland again, much deserved that title.
Crowd loves him.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're good on that, I think that's just about it. So I'm sure again with us doing this on Tuesday, Wednesdays, the go home Dynamite, still a Collision, still a Rampage to go as well. Uh, it could be a couple more matches added for sure. They don't have a pre-show match either, so there'll be a couple of more things added. So
Yeah, that Tony Khan always throws in some extra shit on
yeah,
these last final shows.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, some people again trying to complain like, "Oh, there's too many matches," but in that same span, like if you compare again, I don't want to compare AEW WWE all the time, but that's the only thing to do
I mean, yeah,
nowadays. They basically have the same amount of run time. It's crazy how AEW can fit all those matches in, have them all be better, and then not have all that lag time and wear with and lag and waiting for all of that. But and then in the same amount of span, it's 6 or 7 matches from WWE. Half of them aren't worth a shit. One of them's just chock full of celebrities, and then the other two are like, all right, that's actually cool. I was actually worth my time, but that's
mm,
not how it should be. Uh, yeah, again, Double or Nothing. That's the big one in Las Vegas. They'll be having another big Vegas show come WrestleMania 41, but that's way, way,
hell yeah.
way down the line. But that would be also cool and enjoyable. For sure, for sure.
Oh yeah, it would be
Um,
so cool to see WrestleMania in Vegas.
oh yeah, yeah. Those wrestlers are all going to be on their best behavior, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Uh, if you're good on that, I think we can say check, please. Thank you. Very cool.
I'm good, man.
Oh yeah, dude. Thank you very much for sticking around, dealing with the technical difficulties. I'm sure something will pop up on that side of things, but yeah, got through a lot today, got through a ton. I'm still lagging behind on a couple things on it, but I think we're just gonna have to. I'm just gonna end up super posting all of this. It's gonna be no description. It's just gonna be all video, and if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. It's just gonna be up there for reps, and eventually just me being able to pull it out for stuff like that. So. And hopefully everyone's enjoying the content. Alan, thank you for taking notes. Troy, you as well. Thank you for always popping in and enjoying it and all that. Mike, as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Always.
This is always fun to go ahead and bang out every single week. So this is fantastic.
I
No
love it.
dogs no dogs this week, but coming up next week, another like a 6 game stretch because those Cleburne Railroaders are coming into town and they come on they're there for a big stretch. So
Damn it.
it'll be interesting. So we'll see. So that'll be fun. So yeah, might not be getting episodes back to back weeks, but that's just what it comes to with stuff like that. Maybe on the Monday. Again, maybe we could squeeze something in on Monday. We'll see how it goes.
We
So
go with the flow.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Exactly. Oh, again, I say there's a Wednesday day that's really early, but that's all behind the scenes stuff. I'll worry about that later. I'll be sure to keep you updated, Mikey, and we'll always be sure to keep you updated at home. So as always, take care, and we'll see you. So
So.
have a good one.